fashion news opens its fashion vaults to the most important, influential, and trend-setting designers of the last 30 years. Designer Marathon brings you a unique chronicle of the milestone moments, the landmark collections, the exhibitions, the favorite models, and the creative process behind every designer's career. From the first to the last, from the shocking to the classic, follow the evolution of the world's top designers from rising star to fashion icon. It's all here in the vault, a retro-spectacular timeline, a designer marathon. Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana met as assistants in the Milanese atelier in 1980. 6 short years later, their own label hit the runways to international applause. The Dolce & Gabbana woman is instantly recognizable. Inspired by Dolce's Sicilian heritage, their designs are unmistakably Mediterranean. The ultimate Italian woman is their muse.
I had a muse. Anna Magnani in the beginning, Sofia Loren.
Masters of the mix, they've made an art of combining blatantly sexy feminine elements with exquisitely tailored menswear.
The man is strong and the woman is strong. You put two strong in one, strong is more strong.
It's important when the people buy the clothes, have the good feeling, positive feeling, and when you see to the mirror, you say, ah, wow, my body is nice.
In 1994, Dolce & Gabbana decided to complement their couture-like signature label with D&G, a secondary line devised to help club kids find their personal style. In 2001, the duo set out to help a different kind of kid find his style with D&G Junior for children under 11. It should come as no surprise that their sultry designs have earned them major celebrity fans, and they dressed Madonna and Kylie Minogue for their concert tours.
I've always loved Dolce Gabbana. It's fantastic. I mean, the cuts are absolutely fantastic. They're very sexy, very cool, very edgy, and I'm just a huge fan. I'm just a huge fan.
They are the best. And they make beautiful clothes! Milan's Dolce & Gabbana evoke images of a gentle passion for spring-summer 1988. Dolce & Gabbana balance slim silhouettes with shapely jackets. And décolletés enhance minimal shaping. Light summer separates billow in sun-washed colors. And Dolce & Gabbana's innovative designs ingeniously adapt to suit the wearer. Gentle detailing adds a simply romantic touch to cotton blouses. And evenings are softly shaped in flowing silken jersey. Voluminous skirts highlight a passion for the Baroque. And long, full skirts balance slim bodices. A passion for gentility from Dolce and Gabbana.
The sensual charms of Sicily have always enchanted the Italian design team of Dolce and Gabbana. Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana pay homage to their image of the Mediterranean woman, who exudes strength and femininity. And no matter the style, the design team takes inspiration from the lyrical poetry of Sicily.
La base della nostra ispirazione rimane sempre la Sicilia, il sud. La donna di Dolce Gabbana, noi la rappresentiamo come una donna, cioè fisicamente una donna scura, formosa, con del seno, dei fianchi, cioè una donna femmina.
Season after season, Dolce & Gabbana design feminine clothes in which form follows function. Their different visions of the ideal woman combine in one distinctive style.
Come lavoriamo noi insieme,
We work together with two
praticamente
different
sono
points of
due
view that arrive
partenze
at one
diverse
style.
per arrivare a
I
uno
have a
stile
style
unico.
and Dolce has a
Io ho uno
style.
stile
And at
e
the
Dolce
end
ne ha un
it
altro.
becomes Dolce and
Per
Gabbana.
arrivare alla fine in uno stile unico che è Dolce Gabbana.
This season, they're taking the confident woman to new heights by letting her flaunt her femininity. In this year's most talked about collection, they brazenly brought lingerie looks out of the closet.
The lingerie look, I mean, that's Dolce & Gabbana. They really started a big, huge trend. Not everyone's ready for Dolce & Gabbana. It's Madonna wear.
Kim Basinger and Julia Roberts are also Dolce & Gabbana fans.
Le Miss che diventano star, è più un'ispirazione a questa donna che qualsiasi, è come anche un'ispirazione che qualsiasi donna può diventare una star.
This season's collection is inspired by the lusty Italian bombshells of the 1950s.
Questa collezione ci siamo ispirati alla donna mediterranea, soprattutto alla donna degli anni 50 della dolce vita di Roma, tipo Sofia Loren, Rita Hayworth, la bellezza, il tanto seno, la donna sana.
And what does it take to achieve the look of these legendary ladies? A great body for one thing. But beyond that,
È il capo a cui siamo sempre fedeli. Gli altri possono cambiare, ma il reggiseno e la mutanda no.
power undressing from Dolce & Gabbana.
The hottest spot in Milan isn't a club or a restaurant. It's the D&G boutique on Corso Venezia. Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana have been making muse for years with their signature line. So why devote an entire boutique to their year-old second line D&G?
Un cliente è un tipo di pensiero diverso, può essere lo stesso cliente.
Even though sometimes it's the same woman that would buy something at each store, but the feeling is totally different and the clothes are totally different.
The people when come like you see now there, it's incredible because the people feel well, because this kind of place that is so clear, so clean, the people are not afraid to come on to visit, just to look around, to sit, to watch the video because we have a video, to talk with the friends, to buy something, of course, and that's all. When we start this kind of idea, this kind of project, we decide, on the paper, like I have a project, that the market was from 15 until 30, 35, because it's a young line. But now It's not like that because we are from 15 years but until 125 because we have also the grandmother, the Italian grandmother. It's fashion, but it's another feeling. We sit in a coffee, we look around the people, what they are dressing, what they are doing, and this is the fashion that we propose to the people. That's all. That's all.
Hi, can you tell me what you're wearing tonight?
Yes, Dolce & Gabbana.
What are you wearing tonight?
Dolce Gabbana.
Dolce Gabbana, of course.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, Dolce & Gabbana.
What are you wearing tonight?
I'm just wearing a D&G outfit.
All these people here tonight, they're wearing Dolce & Gabbana. How does it feel to see people dressed up to come to your party?
I'm happy, very happy. Very happy.
D&G has become the unofficial uniform for European club kids.
Dolce & Gabbana is very, very sexy.
They're the must, they're the biggest one, the strongest one, the trendiest one.
Casual, feminine, the style of the 90s, no? And the year 2000.
It's very fashion forward, it's very stylish. It suits me, I like wearing it.
Such good quality and it always fits and it's always fierce. Always. Doesn't matter what it is, you look great, right?
Now meet model turned actress Monica Bellucci. A star in her native Italy, Monica has a special relationship with design sensations Dolce & Gabbana.
I know them from the beginning, actually, and I did, when I used to be a model, I did the fashion show for them.
She recently appeared in a commercial directed by Giuseppe Tornatore for Dolce & Gabbana perfume.
I love doing that because I don't think it's a commercial, it's a little movie.
Monica è una persona eccezionale.
We have a lot
Con
of
lei
fun
ci
with Monica
divertiamo
because she's
moltissimo
very
perché è
fun.
molto
She's the
simpatica,
interpretation
ironica.
of today's
È
Italian
veramente una
woman.
ragazza
Monica.
italiana.
The Italian woman is here.
The most fashionable names on everyone's lips are Dolce & Gabbana. From Madonna to Demi Moore, everyone's wearing the label that is most synonymous with Italian style. And now that label is celebrating its 10th anniversary. Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana met 15 years ago, and the rest is fashion history.
La nostra storia è nata 8 anni fa
8 years ago.
e lavoravamo già insieme presso uno studio da un altro stilista come assistenti, ci siamo messi in proprio e abbiamo incominciato a disegnare delle collezioni senza firmarle, senza i nostri nomi. Poi 4 anni fa, 3 anni e mezzo fa di preciso, è nata la nostra collezione per caso, abbiamo dovuto sfilare, ci è stata offerta una grossa sfilata a Milano Collezioni ed è nato Dolce Gabbana.
Their first few collections were instant hits, a celebration of Italian women and Dolce's Sicilian heritage.
La donna di Dolce Gabbana,
Dolce & Gabbana woman.
noi la rappresentiamo come una donna, fisicamente una donna scura, formosa, con del seno, dei fianchi, una donna femmina, che abbia tutti i requisiti per essere donna.
In 1994, Dolce & Gabbana launched a second line, D&G, for younger, trendier customers. Their signature line turned more mature and upscale, dedicating its style to finer fabrics and cut.
Dolce Gabbana è una collezione che è maturata in una linea pensando a una donna molto elegante, al ritorno dell'eleganza che si è persa in questi ultimi anni causa tutti questi trend continui.
They really made a lot of change since the beginning to make they find, I think, their own style step by step, because when they start, they were very young anyway. But they always have an idea.
I like them, they're fun. They have a good time. They seem to live their life to the fullest also and just enjoy what they're doing. And they're fun, they try out different things. I remember when they first brought me, they only used to use girls that looked very Sicilian, and then they said, oh no, we're going to put you in. And I was like, I don't fit, and they were like, don't worry.
The duo's latest venture is a CD. Its release prompted longtime friend and associate Madonna to quip that maybe she ought to try her hand at designing. And although Dolce & Gabbana have said they'd like to retire to a house one day with lots of puppies, the two will still be designing into the next decade and beyond, delivering wonderful clothing cut as only these two masters can.
D&G is D&G.
Having experimented with graphic logos and hippie chic, for the first time, Dolce & Gabbana related their younger line, D&G, very closely to their signature collection.
All the people want, for D&G, all the people by D&G want the same feeling, the same idea like Dolce Gabbana, but more young for the fabric.
It's the same feeling, but more cheap for the price. I prefer present the collection like this because it's too expensive, the fashion show, for this product. So if I have a fashion show, the price go up to the product.
I like the crochet with the fox because the black fox is very it's very glamour. The clothes is serious, but not much serious. Yeah. This is very typical for Dolce Gabbana. Mixed together in the same woman, together masculine and feminine.
There is the logos, the label, but not outside. It's not black and white because it's too many copies all over the world.
Many people have many money with my label. I'm very happy for these people, but it's not good for my label. I'm sorry for the people who copy my label, but the story of the black and white label is completely finished.
By opting for an exclusive, intimate showing in the Milanese palazzo they call home, Dolce & Gabbana made a hot ticket even hotter.
I decided this place with Domenico because it's not the time for big exhibition, big fashion show. It's much better now not come back to the small fashion show, but to present the clothes in a more comfortable and intimate place, because it's much better for the press, for the buyer, if you see very close my job. It's a mix, it's not one part pop and one part Sicily, traditional Sicily. It's a mix. The Sicilian pop is the crochet in a bright color, for example. I play like this because if you stay in a balcony, for example, in Naples or Palermo, and you watch the procession, you see not just one woman, many, many different women. Chic, cheap, kitsch, rich, pure, popular.
Beach.
The designers also had practical matters in mind when designing this collection.
It's very important to understand this because the woman don't love the big luggage, want the small luggage. And the fashion, and the clothes is very important. If it's small, not too big, the fabric,
not too much construction.
The fabric, beautiful quality because when you open the luggage, the clothes is very nice,
without the iron.
Yes,
because we don't have a time.
The new generation don't use the iron.
Dolce & Gabbana partnership has spawned an empire built on their Mediterranean vision of dressing, both men and women. Their 5-year-old secondary line, D&G, one of the first collections to be logo-driven, this season paid homage to Italian fast food.
D&G is like a new Italian fast food in a space.
Italian food like spaghetti with pomodoro and basilico.
Any fabric with a tomato print, pepper print, onion print.
The feeling of the collection is very techno waitress. The idea is when they go to fast food restaurants and young restaurants, they see all the waiters and waitresses with this apron. So they made the apron into a bag that you carry. Very, very sexy dresses, very Italian style, very Sofia Loren, but the new Sofia Loren.
In their main collection, Stefano and Domenico married their signature sexiness with futuristic references taken from the internet.
It's always Mediterranean, sexy, but the view is from a screen from internet. We are in Positano in a boat, and I opened the light from the back in a boat, and immediately comes a small sardina fish, and I see this fish with a light like a hologram, and start the inspiration.
Very interesting in terms of their technological feel for materials, holographic looks, and I love the fact that it was inspired by their last vacation on a boat.
I work a lot around the fabric. I like all the fabric, like satin, duchesse, organza, linen. Everything have a layer of lacquer and plastic, hologram. And I mix this with a classic and pure fabric like on wool, on like linen, or like satin, or like old fabric with embroidery.
The new silhouette for Dolce Gabbana is the baggy pant but anatomic with the corset.
Everyone wants something new. Maybe this is not the future, but it's new.
This great, fantastic mix of, you know, a little bit over the top, but it's always pretty and it's always fun.
At the forefront of spring's opulence was the collection from Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana. From rhinestone-studded cowgirls to Madonna moments, the duo took a spirited joyride through the 1980s and never looked back.
The wonderful tribute to Madonna that Dolce & Gabbana did, which was a complete retrospective of all of her looks over time. I mean, certainly the biggest icon of the 80s being brought to the stage in a really wonderful, inventive, and innovative way, and that was a real treat.
You do just sit there with your mouth open, just stunned at the level of craftsmanship.
A material girl perennial, the jean, was rejuvenated at this show. Shredded, pinned, and painted, every piece proved provocative. Beneath all the glitz were some very wearable garments. Tailored black and ivory suiting were fresh, even with the inevitable bustier or bra revealed. and printed full skirts look sweetly retro. On the accessory front, embellished boots and decorated platforms added allure. And bags were either deliciously bejeweled or streamlined envelopes. Sheer was the way to go for evening. Billowy chiffons moved to the soundtrack blaring, "I Want to Be Where the Boys Are." And there was no doubt that men will be attracted to these night get-ups like bees to honey.
Well, it seems that the crazy, fantastic 80s has returned in a big way, musically, fashion-wise, and everything. And it's exciting to see that come back again. It's fun, and fashion is about fun. Moments before the Dolce & Gabbana presentation, spring looks were being fashioned backstage. Always a highlight of Milan Fashion Week, this season the designers look to their favorite muses to launch their spring show.
For this season for Dolce, we are actually really doing hair. The girls are meant to look obviously very sexy, like they have a hairstyle, but then the hairstyle is destroyed. So the whole atmosphere is the atmosphere of a party.
Glamour makeup from the 1950s. We've used the colours that Marilyn Monroe uses, which is non-colours, so white and blacks. It's monochromatic, but basically they've been out wild partying, dancing to rock and roll, and the makeup's destroyed slightly, and this is how they're meant to look. It's a few layers to enable it to stay throughout the show, because it's very hot in here, you know, so.
It's very
hot in here.
Dolce & Gabbana's requisite take on sexy took many paths this season. There were 80s glamazon moments, boudoir beauties, outer space look, and sailor references. Classic Dolce & Gabbana, but with a new twist.
It's new. I need new. The inspiration is we want to come back to the roots and present the vintage clothes Dolce & Gabbana. We take from archive the true clothes, like Linda Evangelista, Naomi, Cindy, Christy, and this is the point of Dolce & Gabbana, the beginning. And after this part, we make the mix and match, a new mix and match with the new things, like astronaut, like antique Rome, like sailor.
I want to mix different culture, different fabric, different clothes, different proportion. I like the idea of the full with the chain, the sailor pant, but not big, but very small. The 15, the 16 don't come back because the world go up. I wanted to go to the club to the rest, the young generation.
Blending fabrics and textures is another trademark of the duo.
The chiffon, fur, and chain too. Like this I never see. Like it's beautiful, but I don't get it's new.
The anticipation before the Dolce & Gabbana show was always great, but it was especially high this Supermodel Linda Evangelista took to the Italian duo's fall catwalk after a 5-year absence.
Linda is, she's in my heart, in my mind, in my pencil. During all the year when I work with Domenico, talk about her many times. So she's an icon, not just for Dolce Gabbana, I think for many people.
Linda is my friend, it's my mother, it's my icon. For me, it's too complicated.
talk about him because I know when you love some people, you talk with the eyes like this, no?
Well, it's been very overwhelming for me. It's been over 5 years since I've been on the runway, and very emotional and fun, and it was a lot of fun.
And the fun began backstage, where hair and makeup transformed the industry's top models into Dolce and Gabbana girls.
This look, ultra beautiful, ultra fresh. We took the lashes on the outer corners and then everything else completely fresh.
With Dolce, it's really about a vibe in terms of hair. The thing that always works for them really well is if the hair doesn't look too kind of like ostentatious or elaborate. With them, it's always like a sexy, chic, cheeky, strong, intelligent woman that likes fun.
It's hot, it's gorgeous, it's sexy, it's just, you know, fitted to each girl's personality. They just do anything to make you feel great, and all of us do, and I think that's why the show rocks.
And rock it did, beginning by shaking up their signature menswear-inspired pants.
Some of my particular favourites were the opening passages where they showed their traditional tailoring, which they do like no other. Beautiful pinstripe suits, which were in buttons, and so consequently could like button off the sleeves, or you can make it like short sleeves out of long sleeves. You could make it a bolero as opposed to a long jacket. It's very inventive and very clever.
I love the suit. I love my suit. The suit's beautiful.
You can be any woman you want, basically. You are the strong pinstripe Helmut Newton woman who is bordering on man, or you're the sexy slut in many colors and a tight dress and, you know, your tight necklaces and your high heels.
Yellow high heels were just the beginning. Ubiquitous fashion black was infused with neon brights.
The touch of color is like a new energy. Sometimes the black, when I sketch the black, sometimes it's mamma mia, all black, because the black is normal, obvious, I like all the time.
As always, the designers put their total energy and enthusiasm for fashion into their shows, and what comes out is this incredible array of new ideas, new proportions, bright colours, and really interesting and exciting silhouettes.
We love live the life, and we love stay with the people in the middle of the street. We go in a club and a restaurant, watch people, talk with the people, and the people give a lot of information about fashion to me and Domenico. And we keep everything, we bring everything, and then I translate in a collection.
Dolce Gabbana is like their own world. It's Dolce Gabbana world.
I felt it was a real departure for them. It was less sexy, less overtly sexy, more sensual, very grown up, very polished, very soigné, with hints of YSL, and it made me start to think that perhaps they were auditioning for YSL. But I understand that it was also an homage to Helmut Newton, and so I could understand that then.
In the middle of a comeback this season, Nadia Auerman, one of Newton's favorite models, brought some of the late Lensman's trademark drama to the show.
I thought it was terrific, wearable, very beautiful, and wonderful pieces that you'd want to own. The coats in particular I thought were gorgeous. The one coat I loved was the one with the brown lace down the front of a gray coat, and then a wonderful big fur collar.
The designers blurred the line between masculine and feminine, strong suiting fabrics with glimpses of lace. They also lavished embellishments like crystals, appliques, and jewel brooches on a rich mix of textures.
I thought the evening, the tuxedos looked wonderful, the smokings. I think the dresses were great. I mean, there was really so much of everything. It was very diverse.
As an homage to Newton, the finale was beyond false. The designers amped up the androgynous feel of Saint Laurent smoking and had the models pose on a set inspired by the legendary Brazilian disco.
In the past, it's been a lot flashier. It's been a lot more color and pattern. This time it was more subdued and ladylike, but I think it's right for the time because each piece had so much going on.
Dolce & Gabbana threw the party of the week to launch their new book. The guests of honor, 3 generations of Presley women.
We're so happy to be here, the 3 beautiful women, Presley, Lisa Marie, Riley, and Priscilla. We launched a new book, Music.
The book pays tribute to the symbiotic relationship that the duo has maintained with the elite of the music industry. Containing images by the world's top fashion and celebrity photographers, the book illustrates the entwined relationship that the businesses of fashion and music have. This season, Dolce & Gabbana celebrated 20 years in the business. It gave fashionistas a chance to look back, and it gave the boys an opportunity to say grazie.
I actually think it's just amazing that it's been 20 years. The fact that they've built that company from nothing, that they've endured this long, they've remained relevant this long and exciting and interesting. Just big congratulations to them. It's really a triumph.
It was quite extraordinary what they achieved in their 20 years. I mean, it really did take me back, and there were a lot of great, memorable moments there. The signature for Dolce Gabbana, I mean, they will always tell you time and time again that it is the Sicilian woman, the Italian woman, the bella figura, and that is true.
Certainly every time we see a bra peeking out above anything, we have to owe a debt to Dolce & Gabbana. But I also think they brought kind of a feeling of like ethnic pride and working class sexiness, earthiness to fashion as well.
I think a lot of people think of Dolce and they think of the corset dress, but those guys are so far beyond the corset dress. They've been there, done that. They were the champions of the supermodel. They were the champions of the spectacle. They were the champions of the story, the sexy, the everything. And I think today's show really, proved that. It was a great, tight presentation with a story to tell. They didn't just rest on their laurels and look back and show us something they've already done. They moved ahead. It was gorgeous, all kinds of lace and cotton lace and black and white and ivory. It was sort of Italian wedding country bumpkin style. I mean, it was fabulous and a great presentation, a great show.
Longtime Dolce & Gabbana collaborators Eugene Solomon and Pat McGrath were on hand to create that roll in the hay look.
We want the girls to look very farm fresh, healthy, glowing. We're just using slight blusher on the cheek, small amount of mascara, glossy lips, just very natural, healthy and gorgeous. And all about the girls' inner beauty showing and just adding a little bit of blusher.
Girl in the country, had her hair done, and she's been battered on the hay. So really it's kind of like Bits of it are thrown up, bits of it are squashed about, bits of it are roughed up with the hands. There's bits of hay that are going to be stuck in it.
It was just such a delightful show. They showed so many of the trends that they're known for, of course, the corsetry and the lingerie and the menswear elements and the ravishing, sexy, all-out Italian ba-ba-ba-boom girls. And they're still making it look as sexy and fresh and chic as they ever did. And I'm just delighted to be privy to it.
It was a very, very up collection. I was surprised to see the kind of the milkmaid thing, I have to admit, but it had every trend that we're seeing right now. I mean, lots of white, lots of lingerie, lots of lace, and it got really sexed up. And I thought that the crinoline extravaganza at the end was fantastic.
At the end, we were treated to these amazing ball gowns, which were so poetic, and it was really a moment. And I think that there's fewer and fewer shows that really capture a moment like that, and Dolce did it today.
They've had 20 years to practice. If they haven't gotten it right by now, forget it.
Dual celebrity draw card was Jennifer Lopez, who fulfilled all fashion fantasies as she stepped on the runway in top-to-toe Dolce & Gabbana.
It was really beautiful. It had that kind of Baroque feeling that we've been seeing a little bit of, but it was really wearable. I thought the boots were incredible. I'm definitely going to get myself a pair of those boots.
Waiting for them to do something a little surprising, and I think they did it. I was really pleased with what I saw. It looked like they spent more time on their day wear than they had in a really, really long time. I mean, really, the clothes look very well made.
But all the double-breasted jackets and the details, I love the pale colors, the sort of creams and taupes, and it was really, really nice. It looked really rich.
You know, the Napoleonic trend, of course we saw first about a year ago, so it's not necessarily that they're breaking new ground, but the execution of it, there were some fantastic jackets, some great pants, lovely suits, wonderful coats.
It's great picture-taking clothes, and this was really a magnificent change for them because it really was, the dresses, those couture dresses at the end were not ready to wear. They were simply fantastical, and the fact that they did them with flat shoes was even more of a shock, that they took the sex out of it and made the elegance happen.
And then, of course, the dresses at the end, the Josephine Empire waist dress. Honestly, some of the most beautiful dresses I've ever seen in my life. Really gorgeous. So they put a lot of hard work into the show, and it paid off.
The dramatic staging, ultra-luxe S&M paraphernalia, and savage fur were sure signs that this Dolce & Gabbana collection was the antithesis to modesty. Their woman provocatively blazed a high-tech path to the future.
Stefano and Domenico always follow their own path, and they represent a very sexy woman who's proud of her curves, not afraid to show them, and they did that to the ultimate degree.
And the ultimate degree came in the form of Gisele Bündchen. After a long runway absence, the supremely sexy Brazilian worked it for the design duo.
She was telling me backstage how, now that since she's given up the catwalk, she pretty much lives in trainers and flip-flops. So she had to really, really practice to walk in those. She said 12 inches. I think she might have meant 12 cms. I mean, they were very, very high.
The theme and the, intense look at sexuality has always been their kind of message. So that's not so new, and I didn't think it was that shocking. I mean, I know people were shocked by the S&M thing, but, that's always been their thing, to look at the sexy woman in a different light every different season.
I thought it was quite extraordinary. It was an incredibly high-tech performance, because a lot of those fabrics, which look like plastic, were in fact wool and silk that had been treated either with metallic paint or a kind of laminated finish. I mean, even the lace had been kind of coated with this extraordinary metallic process. I mean, it's almost like taking luxury to the factory floor.
Beautifully executed clothing. I mean, unbelievable. The beading and the details and the studding.
To me, these looked like kind of, fabulous evening gowns for Hollywood stars and rock stars and Beyonce and girls who need, those kinds of dresses.
I mean, the hours of work that went into some of that beading is beyond belief. The whole thing was just sort of incredibly futuristic. Future look.
I think they're so impressive the way they have pulled their marketing and their presentation and kept the quality and the craftsmanship and the tailoring of the clothes and taken it to this really pretty major global luxury brand level.
They're, sort of the J-Lo of the fashion world.